Do it. These are tungstens. If you haven't seen the review of them, it's because you're not a patron of mine or a subscriber, because I refuse to release that publicly because it's going to drive too much traffic to poor old Ryan at Modhouse. This is the XD-05 Plus. Now looking at this, go look at this Patreon. This is the XD-05 Plus, which is the big Xduoo, big Xduoo portable, and this is before they had the balanced version. I think I sold the balanced version because it literally had the same amount of power as this version, and I like this version better. And this is the Pro. So that's why I bigged, because this is a chonk. This is definitely a chonk. Rebecca thinks this is a chonk. It's got a nice analog knob. It's got switches. It's heavy duty. It had an add-on in the back that gave you a coaxial digital inputting Bluetooth receiver, because by default it didn't have one. And it was you know, it had its ups and downs, its moments, and I never sold it because I love the damn thing. Well, guess what? Let's fast forward. Now that's probably 3 years old at this point. And I don't know who asked Xduoo to make an $800 3-pound brick that is a portable. A lot of this. I'm going to just exercise these fingers because it's if I unplug, hold on. I'm currently feeding it with fiber optic because it'll take USB or Bluetooth or fiber optic or coaxial digital or AES or balanced input or 3.5 millimeter input, but it's also a balanced output or a 3.5 millimeter output at Oh, and by the way, you could open up the bottom and swap out not just the op amps, but the DAC it uses. Because they come in modules. You can buy individual modules to swap that DAC. What the? Who? Fuck. That's why Rebecca is the background, because we're going to the chop shop in fucking in Night City, and we're just going to get some parts put in. Oh, this is way too good for Xduoo. You don't deserve, we don't deserve this. Because it's running tungsten, number one, this is the 9.0 driver. I'm at 98 out of 100 on turbo mode, which is enough power to cook every headphone you see on that wall. Just light it ablaze. I'm outputting using the ROM DAC, which there's AKM. I'm sorry, that's AKM. This is the ESS, which it comes with. And I'm using the ROM, ROHM, which is a DAC that I've never heard of, and I like the best, because I was playing with all three of them. The op amps, here's the op amps. We're gonna go back into this, because we need to talk about that, like seriously talk about that. I threw all my op amps in this little tin, the little Xduoo tin, because it came with just 2 other op amps, which I actually swapped back to the OGs. I think I like these better, and these are some other ones. You need stereo op amps. I don't have enough. These are those weird ones I got at California last year. The dude was just handing out op amps because his amplifier sounded amazing. I don't have 2 stereo ones. I only have 1 stereo one. This one's bad, so I can't try them. I'd love to get some Burson op amps or that other. Name your favorite op amps in the comments. All right, I guess we start with the tour of the unit. Yeah, already stickered. Glass panel here for Bluetooth receiving, because it is a giant metal box. You get indicators here, these colored indicators. If I hit this button, the turbo button, those will change green for low gain, blue for normal gain, red for turbo. So, you know what? That's acceptable. I know if I'm plugging my thing in, it's not, oh, RGB sucks. It does, but this is actually telling me if I'm gonna blow shit up, because I've got some very, very, very nice IMs here. These are the Prestige Limited. On my new collaboration cable, if you want to look at it in the description, I call it the Purple Asylum cable. They call it the Cadmus 8W. Anyway, that's gonna get plugged in a second. Glass, there's a little charge indicator there. That's a little LED indicator. There's something that looks like a microphone. I don't know what that is. I don't think it has a microphone in it, but it's, maybe you can. You know what? I haven't made a phone call with this. I haven't just been rocking around here. I'll unplug it. I haven't just been rocking around. I've been like, yes, I'd like to order a pizza. I have these currently unscrewed. There are screws that hold this in place, and they're currently unscrewed. You know what? Fuck it. We're just going right to the bottom, because you could see there's literally a layout showing you how this is put together with the quick charge, the lithium battery of 13,600 milliamp hour, the 12-volt battery switch into the changer, the turbos, and the plus 20, plus 14 decibel, the buffers. I want a poster of this. By the way, it is done up in a way that is not like a sticker that makes it look like carbon fiber. It's not carbon fiber, but whatever they did to machine that in there is fucking gorgeous. You got a little window that lets you see which DAC module you've got in it. And these, by the way, there's little poppers, little spring-loaded poppers. So when you unscrew it, it literally goes boop and pops up so you can lift it. We're not done, top. Okay. Glass. Big blank space, perfect for waifu stickers. CH0NK waifu stickers in the description, because you want to decorate it, because it's too much negative space. You need to bring some positive space. By the way, she's not in any of this crappy stickers I get from Amazon yet, because she has been popular long enough. She'll be there eventually. You got a screen on top. Currently says no signal because I'm using optical. It's not plugged in. It says which DAC you're using in case the ROM, ROHM. Never heard of this type of DAC. Literally went from it came with the ESS, and I'm like, great, I like ESS. Put on the ESS, okay, listened, did some assessment. Same 3 songs, same headphones, took them off. Put in the AKM. Ooh, sharper, crisper. Little less warmth, which is what I expect. That's kind of like the stereotype of what you'd get going from an ESS to an AKM. And then went to the ROM DAC, and it's like, you know what? Chill the fuck out, man. We're going to just smooth everything out. And I love it. So the ROM DAC, which is actually the cheapest of the DAC modules at $150. The AKM one is $200. ROM is $150, and this comes with it. So I would honestly, I get all of them, and then just either return the one you don't like, or just say, I have the whole set. So that's a thing. PC, filter one, eco mode, full battery. The battery in this, believe it or not, doesn't last, well, all right. I've been using it almost exclusively with the tungsten, which is, it's kind of like a meme at this point. If it's not a meme, please make it a meme. You can't power the tungsten unless you have like special powers granted to you from some sort of mythical like dragon that you defeat. But this will power it. Almost at the tippy top of how much it can push, but it'll power it to 99%, which is fucking amazing. So there's your top layout. So you got your indicators, your glass, your other glass, and your sticker space. The front then has another screen in the knob just to tell you the volume. There it is, just the volume. It's just the volume. Oh, and also this, if you look, you can see it shows you an indicator of the volume when you're changing it. And those left and right indicators will actually act as a VU meter if you set it in the menu, which we'll go through the menu in a bit. Right side, fucking nothing. Left side, fucking everything. Power button or switch, it says button. Hold it down, turn it off, hold it on, turn it on, pretty easy. Input menu, turbo, Bluetooth. Bluetooth, this button, you can press it to pause. I think double press to next track and triple press to last track. Thank you, God. Turbo button literally just goes, it shows a little indicator, normal, turbo, and you get your 3 lights changed back there. The menu is the menu. The input brings you to this menu that cycles. So AES, so I should probably look at the back before I go to the fucking menu button. Coaxial optical input. AES input. Now AES is basically an XLR cable used in like pro audio. The only adapter I don't believe I have in this entire fucking house is a full-size XLR to a mini XLR. Or I'd be using AES to feed this instead of optical, even though they really should be the same. Why that's on one of these, your guess is as good as fucking mine, because, like, I don't have, like, what? Tell me if you ever use mini AES, and tell me if you would use it on this and where. Because, I mean, I could get an adapter for my desk, and that's fine, but I don't think there's any DAPs that have it to use this. USB in. There's 2 USBs. This one is charge only, and that one is USB data. That's how I was using it when I was on the go. You have your aux in and out 3.5. You got your balanced in and out 4.4. Again, your charge USB with the LEDs above the USB and above the charge to indicate what are working. And you got a 3-way switch. And there's not many faults in this unit or flaws, But this is definitely fucking one of them. There's a switch. Currently it's on battery. If you flip the switch to external, guess what happens? Whoop. Because you literally just disconnected the battery. And then you go up to charge, which will turn on. Hold on. I lied to you. Oh, no, I didn't lie to you. If you're charging it, where the hell, I had a USB cable here. I'm not a liar. I'm just forgetful. So I put it in the charge mode. I plug it in. You see the charge indicator come on. I can then power it on, which seems great, except then if I unplug it, it dies. Because it's on charge mode, it's not running off the battery. So there's several fucking problems with this that you have to just be aware. Like if you're swapping out the stuff in here and you've got these doors open, you should probably put it to the EXT mode, which is in the middle, so that it's looking for an external power. If you put it on battery mode, it's going to be battery powered. You put it on EXT mode, it's looking for an external power supply to run it so that you could run this on your desk without killing its battery. That's a big mode of contention with a lot of like AKM players and all those big bastards, because people don't want to have it there charging and discharging and charging and discharging. It murders batteries. You can literally disable the battery from being interacted with. I'm currently plugging, this is just running off of like my power supply. Like I've got a very nice $20 power strip that has a USB-C out, and I don't trust that as much as I love that thing. Zeos, link the world's greatest power strip in the description. Please check it out. It is honestly fantastic. But I don't trust that to run an $800 DAP as it's, I call it a DAP, but it's not really a DAP. It's just it's a Bluetooth player. Like what the fuck? We'll have to define this later. But yeah, my biggest problem with that switch is not, by the way, that you have to know which switch mode to be in. You pretty much get used to like, I'm going outside, battery. I'm coming home, I want to charge it. You have to flip it up to charge it. If you're running on battery mode and you plug it in, I don't believe it charges. It does not charge. You have to flip the switch to get it to charge. So you're gonna, at least once when you buy this, use it, carry it around, come back, plug it in, forget to flip that switch, unplug it, turn it on, it's dead. So don't. The big problem, however, is not that. The big problem is that this switch, no matter what orientation it is in, sticks out past the plane of this. So if I try to put this down on something flat, and there's nothing flatter on Earth than this Watt 23, I apologize to Ollie for using it as like a scale. If I put it down there, she rocks. She's on the switch. It's on the switch. This needed to come out a little bit more. The switch needed to be in a little bit more. It's like, you do bad. It's okay, baby, you're fine. That's the only thing is it's so big and thick, you just want to stand it up. Now on a mouse pad on a soft surface, because I keep yoga mats on this to not damage things, that's fine. But if you just put this thing down on a hard surface, you're going to damage that switch. And I don't want to tell you to do that. Don't do that. So now we've looked at the back. It's actually very neatly laid out. Like it's perfect. They didn't jam anything in any weird places. Great. You got your input. Let's go into the menu, and then we'll discuss swapping the things, and then we'll discuss this, which is probably getting cooked because that thing's at 61C right now. So the menu, we have to go to battery mode. We got to turn it on, hold button. Xduoo, no signal, AES in. So we're going to go back. Menu. If you press it once, nothing happens. If you hold it, you get this, and it's very pretty, and you get to choose with the volume knob. You rotate the volume knob, which the screen is around, but it's still cool. Also, there's a 4.4 inch, in case you're wondering. Oh, I fucked up. Didn't do it fast enough. Back to menu. So, this doesn't push in. So what you have to do, I believe it's, yeah, the input button then becomes your, like, enter. So I have literally a choice of two filters, PCM filter 1 or PCM filter 2. I'm not a huge proponent of believing in filters. I can't hear the sound difference in filters. So you got to be sort of snappy with this. Filters 1, then backlight. And you get not one, but two settings because you have that and this. So you get the top screen and the other screen and when it turns off. So you could have it turn off after 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, or 2 minutes. I have both off, murder the battery, I don't give a shit. Hit menu to go back. Then you go back, backlight, brightness, then we go back into it. Same thing, two switches or two screens here and here. Menu to go back. It keeps your setting to 0 also, which is kind of annoying. Phone balance. Phone balance, so you can actually adjust And it's very weird how it does this. Instead of just being center and then right and then left, it has left and right that are two separate moving scales for no reason. There's no menu timeout. But you can adjust the balance that way. Then there's display, which is what I want to actually get into. So it shows you either sampling or spectrum. Those are the two options. I have it on sampling, which is how it shows you all the information. I'll put it on spectrum. We're going to hit back. And then we come around. And there's two other ones. There's off time. I hit the menu button instead of the fucking input. Of course I did. Off time. Off 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. So if you're not using it, honestly, I had it set to off. I'm going to set it to 30 minutes just because if you forget to fuck around with it, it's going to die. And then there's the full reset and that's it. Very basic controls. Most of those are actually just to do with the screens, their brightness, their timeouts. Not really much else. This is a pretty basic unit. There's no app for this. Of all the things that need a fucking app, you'd figure the... And I might have lied. This is probably more than 3 pounds. For those of you in the London lands, this might be, it's not 2 kilograms. Kilograms is 2.2 pounds. It might be like 1.5 kilograms. This will kill. This is a death. This is I used to do this measurement years ago, for those of you who've been watching for years. How high off of a person's skull would you have to drop this to cause serious brain damage? This is a 3-footer. If you're laying on the ground and I went, whoop, you'd probably need to go to the hospital from a drop of this, especially if the corner got you. So let's look at the bottom. Let's unplug the tungstens. Make sure we're not fucking in any stupid mode. Let's hook my effect audio cable up to it. Remember, it's called the Purple Asylum, but it's called the Cadmus. And I've got these Thigh Audios. If you haven't seen my review of the Thigh Audio Prestige Limited, it is on In-Ear Fetish. It's probably been released because I was running out of reviews over there. All right, where are we at? 78's too damn high. Scroll that shit way the fuck down. Plug it. Even though I'm not actually playing anything because I have no source, I can put my phone on, but where the fuck is my phone? It doesn't matter. I'm going to shut this off, and the fastest way to shut it off is to switch to X, and you hear it go pip, and it's dead now. You can't physically turn it on. Pop the hood. So the more common thing, and by the way, this screwdriver came in this set. It's from here. You know what? Let's look at this set for a second, because this is the shit I expect from things that are thousands of dollars, and it doesn't happen. So Xduoo comes out with an $800, which is not a cheap unit, but $800 is not like the highest echelon of things, and comes out with has bespoke cables with custom Xduoo little connectors on it, on these really thick, soft wires. Like here's a 3.5 to 3.5. Here's their 4.4 to 4.4. Like I brought this to California, to SoCal. And I'm like, well, I want to bring these cables. And I'm like, well, I want to get good ones. And I brought the ones that came with it because they're fucking good ones. You got your little adapter. Here's an AES to AES cable. Okay. 1/4-inch adapter, USB to USB-C adapter. 10 feet. 10. That's this many feet. I counted. And then we got the real interesting shit. So you got a bunch of extra screws in case you fuck up. Because another issue that I have is these doors are screwed in place, but they're not captive screws. So you unscrew the screw and the screw falls on the floor. There are things I could put on the screw to make it just unscrew and just stay there and never need to be changed, but they didn't do it for this, so you have to be careful with the screws, or they give you extra screws when you fuck up. I'll pull out these cables, all these cables, because frankly, Xduoo needs to sell these, and I don't know how much they'd have to charge for them, but it would not be a little, by a lot. Here is a USB-C to Lightning cable. All right, I don't have an iPhone. Pasta's got an iPhone, but I'm not going to borrow it. And here is a USB-C to USB-C cable. Now I need my phone. There's it's hidden in plain sight. Look at, where is it? Where is it? Look at that. Plugged it in. Beautiful. Fits nice and snug. Not quite DD Hi-Fi, but then Zeos, what the hell is this thing? Because this is a USB-C to USB-C female. What is this? Oh, There are threads just around the outside of this area that when you plug this in, you can then thread this on absolutely smoothly and make an extension so that you have now a long USB-C to USB-C cable. And if I plug this into the unit, hold on. Now this cable that came with it has a light to indicate there's signal going across it, and I want that on every USB-C cable. Because it indicates connection. It indicates there's a power bind between... There's a fucking light, an orange light. There's a very, very thick, very, very soft and flexible cable. It's lovely. It's silken. It's like, ugh. It's that kind of good shit that you just want with everything. You know what? We'll actually use it off the phone. Leave that plugged in. We're still on external mode, so we're not going to get electrocuted. If I were to take the screwdriver, which I probably put back in here. Yeah, I'm dumb. Thank you. 2 screws come out of here and here. They are black screws. They're those little guys. And then when you open it up, you get 2 silver screws, which what I would do is I would loosen one all the way, and then I would loosen the other one, and then again, another one of these like auto spring poppers will allow this to lift up to grant you access. And once you get that loose, you can just gently lift the DAC from the edges. I'm trying to do this without destroying anything. Pull it out. There are my 2 screws, which I got to transfer. It's a big thing that says, please download the installation manual from Xduoo website. If you've gotten this far, you probably... That's not where you should put that. You should put it on the outside and it says, don't until you've read. But no, it's literally, by the time you've gotten the Dac module out, it's too late. The Dac modules are all slightly different, which I find interesting, because it must be that they sent the specs to AKM and ES and Sabre and to whoever the fuck makes ROM. By the way, I need a ROM DAC in everything. And because they're all different. Like this one says Xduoo, XD-05 Pro AKM DAC there, and it's written with the thing there and designed by Xduoo. So there's your one. This one has a smaller font and a slightly different blue. And this is the ESS one, and it says much smaller print, ESS 9039S Pro DAC module. And it's got a black circuit board there. And then we're back to the written XD-05 ROM module. I feel like Sabre made their own because these 2 sort of match. And then there's nothing on really the bottom, and that's it. You pick which DAC module you want. And again, I've sampled all 3 personally. I'm a huge fan of the ROM. I am all about take all my shit, take all the stress out of it, boom. And this is the best example. I'm still wearing IMs, which is real weird because I'm going to hear myself in my brain. This is the best way I think I've ever tested differences between DACs. If that would be a great reason just to buy, because you're going to spend $200, $350 more to get both of these. You're never going to know. Like I had a very clear one. If you check out my patronage chat back like 2 months ago or a month ago, I went over the differences there because I was still getting this thing like accustomed to my brain. But yeah, no, it was definitely the AKM had much more focused center and clarity. Then the ESS was a little bit more soundstage and low end bump, and the ROM is just like the best of all the things I want from a chill thing. Just plug it right in, get it right in there. You could kind of see, right there. It just sits down top. I thought I had to go in a slot. It just sort of sits. If it sits, it sits. And we're gonna just give a little screw down. Make sure you're not cross-threading. We'll actually close. We'll button this thing up because this is probably the last time I ever open it. I might even put some of these in the yard sale if I don't want them back. The quality, by the way, the build. Can we talk about the build quality of like these hinges here? Like this feel of like, all right, stiff, 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 drops, spring load. Like that's nutty. Nutty the Nutpecker. You think there's a porn star named Nutty the Nutpecker? There's gotta be, right? I wish this was magnetized so I could just pick things up, and it's not. That would go a great long way in keeping me from losing shit. Be real careful. All right, so now we've got the DAC module installed, and we're obviously keeping the ROM one, so let's just take these two, put them back there with the extra screws. The front here, this is where it gets kind of annoying, because swapping op amps is an actual decent amount of fun when you have like, oh, I have an op amp I like, or if you just the ability to do it is great. But you do have a second thing. So you undo the two screws here. It does the pop-up thing. It's a little pop-up in the center. Then you have to undo two more screws and do your fucking best not to drop them down the holes that are now appearing. Because again, we're non-magnetic, and we have access to some circuitry here, which I feel like wouldn't react well if you smashed it with things. And then this pops up and you take it out, and there are your op amps. And this is called the Xduoo X-05 Pro Op Amp Board 1.7. And here is an op amp. This is an operational amplifier. It basically tells the instructions on how the actual amplifier should work. You got two of them. They have to be in stereo to be balanced. We put it back in. When you're looking at it this way, with the grid on top, with the connections on top, there is a white square in the upper left. That's how you orient them. You could swap out with different op amps if you had, again, I gotta find some Bursons. So you could actually see the battery module in blue there. And there's access in there that you do not want to drop a thing in there. Bad news bears. And we just drop it in there and it sort of stays up, and you got to give it like a little push down. So let's go back now, push that back down. I do that, sort of hold, drop it into the hole first, and then we could just sort of get it in place. All right, that's it. Well, we got to get this one in, then we got to get it. That's it. Why would you buy this unit? That's the real question. We're coming down to the brassest of taxes. Because you have to be a fucking psychopath to need a 3 pound or 3.5 pound or 4 pound or 2.1 kilogram, 1.9 kilogram audio brick. It's the audio brick. Battery, power, on. Now, if you do that, I think that checks battery percentage, because see how it's not turning on? So it's fully charged, so it's green. If I did that and it was red, it would be not fully charged. That's why it flashes red for a split second before it turns green. All right, we're in USB-N mode. We're on ROM, PC Filter 2, Eco mode. We've got it now to show the things and nothing else. Let's get my phone out. Get the fizz zone on the rizzing. Wake up. Nice. What's my volume at? 20 on low gain. Cyberpunk, for Rebecca's sake. On my way to hell. Actually at 60 out of 100. Or 60 out of 99, I think. Holy fuck. I'm just absorbing sound. Give me a second. Oh, if you haven't seen my review of the Prestige Limited, they're basically my top IM now. They've surpassed the Monarch, not in their abilities, but in their signature. Like, just take the Monarch now and throw like Zeo's spunk all over it, and that's what the Prestige Limited feel like. So I can't judge this unit as a actual power plant from these, because anything powering these would just change my perspective on space and time. Holy fuck, Paul, a Chinese drum. Okay, that's so much power. All right, we're gonna take this off. Again, I'm just trying to show off the Colab cable, which the reason I call it the Purple Asylum cable is because you gotta be fucking crazy to spend $300 and some odd on a IM cable. But the people who are gonna buy this are the people who are dumb enough to be like, I have a BIS Diana, and I really, really want to take it portable because I'm dumb. Actually, hold on, will the Bluetooth button? No. I was wondering if the Bluetooth button would actually pause this because it is linked. It is not. All right, we're switching this from eco to normal. 70% on normal, you could run Diana's. Oh my God. And it's all the power you should ever need. Like that's always been like the rat race. It's like, hey, I got this headphone. It's really hard to drive. I've got HE6s or I've got Diana's, or now the tungsten has stepped into the midst. I don't know how hard Caldera is. Caldera is still coming to me. And it's been like, well, when you can get this, you get a power pack of it. This is just like, it just pushes everything out of the way. It shows up at under $1,000 with all these accessories and options and swappable DACs and swappable op amps for no one asked for this. It's like the Ford Lightning. Not the Ford Lightning, it's like the Ford Raptor. No one asked Ford to make an off-road 100-mile-an-hour fucking pickup truck, but they did it anyway. But this shows up, and it is the only option. I wouldn't even, if you just say, like Zeos, I need a portable with a lot of power, this is the only option. It's not a player. It doesn't have its own build. It's not like the CH0NK, like the H5 or the H7, where it's got a USB or an SD card slot where it could host its own music, which I think is a limitation factor. I still love my little H5, and I took that to California as well because that's just convenient. It's got music on it already. This sits here just being a DAC and an amp. And now, for the first time today, I hooked it up this way, because when it's not an input, because you can select the balance as an input, every time it's not an input, it's an output. So then I can output to other amplifiers from it and use that ROM DAC that I'm fucking in love with. So I plug this in here. Gain low, 55. The volume here does not affect the output. That is a straight raw DAC output. This has to go on high gain. Hold on. Hold. Okay, I think I just, oh, that was a real jump. That was a real pick music that's not. So you could basically buy one of these, park it on your desk, never take it off. You could swap DAC modules. You've got two outputs because the 3.5 is also running right now. So you could run a single-ended output for 3.5 to an amp. You run the 4.4 output through XLR adapters to another amp. You could feed it in with USB, in with fiber optic. You have to pick fiber optic or coaxial. You can get an AS adapter if you want to do that. And it'll be a headphone amp for you or not. And it won't run off the battery pack if you don't want it to. So it could just sit there as a desk control unit, feeding two other amplifiers, or you couldn't feed speakers with it because it doesn't have a pre. It is just full line out, so you can't like lower the volume with it. That would make it that would be another layer of convenience, I guess. But in this scenario, I'm like, I don't care. I have like a wonderful headphone amplifier and another wonderful headphone amplifier, and I could go 3.5 into RCAs for this and 4.4 into XLRs for this, and I could feed both of these through the ROM DAC, which honestly, this is the implementation everyone's talking about. Well, how do they implement the DAC? They're just giving it like a I would love to crack one of these open. I could. It's got little star heads here. And see, because then how the power comes in and the signal goes out. You could use these as case studies. And, you know, I don't think anyone's going to be the asshole that builds a little fucking 3D printed wallet to have these on them on the go. But like, you know what? I'm sitting in this, you know, lovely barista here in Paris, and I'm feeling like these headphones and IMs that I purchased would really benefit from the directivity of an AKM DAC, and you're going to swap it out. This is shit that stays at home. Like, I think you're going to figure out which one you like the most and then live with that. This is, I can't possibly see that. I mean, if that was the case, if they wanted you to swap it out like fucking Game Boy cartridges, it would have been like a push button system, which actually, even with the design of this, would have been okay. It would have been like click, click, and take it out. This is beast mode, but it doesn't have to be beast mode. Like, I'm running at USB right now, and we're going, and the Eagles are fucking playing beautifully out of another whole thing. So we talked about the DAC. Let's talk about the amplification, because obviously it's a Class A. The amplification is smooth. I can obviously set it to balanced input and take one of my balanced DACs and feed the input and ignore the DAC entirely. And it's got solidly clean amplification. It's a little bit smooth. I wouldn't even say a touch warm. This also lacks tone control, so I want to point out. That's one of the things that I'm like thinking about it, like, yeah, it's got everything. Oh wait, it doesn't have tone controls. I can't do a bass boost. IFI still has that market fucking cornered, where it's like we had 3D space and we had 3 levels of bass boost. This is as complicatedly dirt simple as possible. Like, no one asked for this shit, but then it's like, well, if it didn't have that, I would fully expect it to have all this other stuff on top of that. Because even like their original Xduos, there's no bass boost on this, and that was a complaint. Actually, no, I lied. There is a bass boost on this. In fact, there's a gain boost on this, and a bass boost, and then a gain switch in 3 positions. And then there's SRC, input, and filter. So I guess having only 2 filter settings and no like bass boost, and I'm sure someone's going to yell at me like, oh, with Zeos, if you get a special app, there's no app. As far as I can tell, there's no app. I've read the books, I've read the fucking pages, no app. This is just a raw, this is a desktop amplifier shrunken down with a built-in DAC swap and a battery pack, and you're on your fucking own. So let's unplug this. Let's unplug this. Let's swap this over to auxiliary, balance, Bluetooth. Go. Connected. Boom. Slowly raise the volume. And now it's stuttering because I have it set to the highest quality LDAC, because it is LDAC, obviously. And now I'm literally like, I could... This is the question. Who is this guy? I mean, I could shove this in my pants. Oh, I hit the button. So let's see. Wait. Bluetooth pause. Double click. System of a Down. Double click again. Sunny Boy. So yeah, you can. This is an option now. I am optioned out to do this. I can put this fucker in my pants somehow. There. Just some guy. I'm just some guy just hanging out, constantly lifting my left pants leg up because, you know, just whatever. Just whatever. Kevin Penkin's crown game. Just, yeah, it's fine. Oh, I always am. This is my standard outing. Fucking going shopping with. Another thing I would change on this is they have these. Oh fuck! It's very clean and teat, not tight, teat. Another thing I would change. One other thing I would change. Get this fucking amazing cable off the ground. By the way, Albedo, I've not seen Overlord. I heard it gets kind of slow, like they're not getting to the point, but everyone, you need to have a mouse pad with her on it. These are sort of standing up to protect the knob. If these had holes in them and you can get a strap, then you could be the true audiophile a-hole and have like a strap around your neck and have this sitting either here or on your side, like a fucking, like an old field recorder, and then you could run that. Who wants this? Seriously. Rebecca wants it. She'd probably have it installed in her thigh or something because, you know, she wants to jam to the fucking tracks. But who besides me wants this? Because I brought it to California just in case I wanted to bring it to the show to Can Jam, because I would be able to fucking sit there and either via Bluetooth or USB. I mean, I don't know how many cock rings you can get that would actually mount. There you go. It's super convenient. This is like a portable test bench. And there's that other one that's out there. That's the huge one that I saw in Munich. I forget who makes it. Is that Lutu? Lutu makes it, I think. And it's like, it makes this one look like, that makes this look small. Because that's like half of this thing. But you have to be fully certified. Fully certifiable, I'm sorry, let me correct that. to like actively be like, you know what? I want the biggest, the most powerful, and the best. I don't even know the actual voltage that it's outputting or the full wattage. Because all you got to know is there's not a headphone in my collection that doesn't power, including tungstens with a 9.0 driver. Not even the 9.2, which is more efficient. This thing's silly. This thing is hashtag fucking silly. And I love it. So, yeah, no, links to it. Links to that wallpaper in the wallpaper horde. Links to this mouse pad. Please in the comments, tell me what the fuck I should be thinking about this. Is this the... Because it's always been like, there's been like, oh, this is a little bit too big to be, you know, portable. It's more like transportable. But this is based around a giant battery pack to run. I mean, and it's more usable than the FIO M17, because that thing wouldn't give you full tilt power unless you plugged it into the wall, which... That's like having a Corvette that won't hit 6th gear unless you plug it into a gas station. Like, what's the point? You got to be on the road. You got to be moving. Yes, that was a full DAP, but again, why have the potential to be more powerful on a dock and not just fucking murder balls of battery if you want to have... This is full R-word. This goes for it. I actually had these on the desk too. I'm sorry, I've been ignoring the 109s, which have their original pads back, by the way. I stole them back from the Ghost just because. We are currently on turbo. Red indicators that are like, warning, Will Robinson. We're going to put this down to 45. We're going to go in, boom. Thank God, because that's officially the loudest I would play it is Eco Mode 45. Oh, and I should probably talk about like noise floor. There is none. Dead silent. Fucking dead silent. All the good things about having an amplifier like on a desk, and like noise floor is low, the power handling's there. This has. And it just happens to have the convenience of, if you want to go Bluetooth, which sounds very good. I mean, there's obviously, if you can USB it. Not that one. This fucking system is so over-designed. Like, who? It's like an owl. Who? Boom. I guess. Well, that was like a first battery change, which means 45 minutes this video is. 50 minutes now. So the real question is who? Who is this? Is this you? Is this you? Is this you? Because frankly, it's kind of me. The fact that I'm able to tune it with both the DAC and op amps to get closer to my ideal sound. The only thing missing is a tube module to just slot in there. Anyway, I'm done before the batteries die again, and this video takes up more time than anybody should be watching it. Wallpaper, links, 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 links. But if you want to see the video of this, it's on the Patreon. So if you want to know why I gave a shit about it, there you go. Yeah. Support me on Patreon and subscribe stars. See these reviews early. Participate in yard sales. See these reviews very early. Because now that I'm doing 3-day releases, I'm still making videos pretty quickly. So those things will be on there for weeks. So you want to get into the inside knowledge of what's going on. There you go. Participate in yard sales 1st to 10th of every month. I still probably won't be putting my XD-05 Plus in it, although at this point I'm keeping it just as a legacy thing, just to pull it out and do a fucking size comparison between the Plus and the Pro. The thickness alone is like 40% thicker. Here's sound demos, lots of sound demos. I haven't made a couple sound demos in a while, but I'm getting back into that. All sound demos, by the way, since I've got the copyright strike on this channel. Sony, thank you for that 2016 Beats Solo 2 video sound demo. A copyright struck me for the Monogatari soundtrack. So all sound demos are now officially gone from YouTube. I have fucking nuked them. They are now only available privately to patrons and subscribers. So if you'd like to hear the old sound demos and experience the new sound demos with far less limitations on them, please check out my Patreon and subscribe stars for $5 a month. $10 a month puts you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat, which lets you see reviews early. $10 a month puts you in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat, which lets you talk to me directly, talk with other people, and get into a lifetime swap meet channel. It's been a hot minute since I've made a fucking review, so I'm kind of... This is the most absurd shit I've ever fucking experienced. I hope you experienced it too. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, it comes with a keychain, which is what I had the screw sitting on. So there you go.